As much as Astro Renaissance is a beautiful and gorgeous game, it just has way too many glaring issues, and in today's video I am going to be talking about them. Alright, hi, TT here, and today we are going to be talking about the glaring issues that Astro Renaissance clearly has. Alright, so before the video starts, please make sure to like and subscribe and follow all of my socials. They will be linked in the description. Without further ado, let me get into the video now. So as I would have mentioned, Astro Renaissance does have a lot of glaring issues, and in my idea book here I actually have a bunch of stuff that I would have written down about Astro Renaissance just having these glaring issues, and it's quite a few, but it's not as much as you think. So I just want to get started on some of these glaring issues, and it starts off from when you first join the game. So ever since the new Lunar Harvest update, which would have been all the way back in 2024 October, it would have released in October, I realized that as soon as I loaded into the new map, that when you talk to the NPC Moonlight, which she is supposed to be a guidance NPC, as soon as you talk to her, she kind of treats you as if you've already talked to her. And yes, there are dialogue options that allow you to say, oh, we've never met you before, but it doesn't really nudge you in the direction to say, oh, well, I've never met you before, so maybe I should give you a tutorial on how to play the game. No, all of the dialogue options that I have clicked on have always led to Moonlight just straight up dismissing me, and I thought that was really weird. So if anybody has like a new account that could test going into a new Astro Renaissance account and like going to see if Moonlight actually gives you a tutorial when you're a new player, then please tell me down in the comments, because I was honestly surprised when I saw that Moonlight absolutely didn't give me any of the basic tutorial stuff, because that was something that the old Moonlight NPC used to do in the old updates of the game. Moonlight was basically right behind you, and I think in this version Moonlight is also right behind you, which in my opinion I don't think that that should be the case. I think that if any sort of guiding NPC is supposed to be anywhere, she's supposed to be right in front of you. Any NPC that is going to be teaching you somewhat about the game is supposed to be right in front of you. So the way that Moonlight kind of greets you in this, I kind of don't like it, and I honestly think that the tutorial NPC Moonlight version should have been kept. And if it is still there, please tell me, because honestly it was just too laggy for me to even explore all of the dialogue options, and honestly I am getting to the lag very soon, so just hang on a bit. One of the next points that I have here is that some of the quests seem a bit harder to accomplish. Like for example, there was a job where you talk to some NPC that was crying by the supermarket, and it's basically you're supposed to be hanging up these job posters all over the map, and I don't know why, but it was incredibly hard for me to do, and it was mostly because my laptop, one, is just not the best for a game like this, and two, I don't think that it was the best idea to like have the posters be neon blue, especially when the entire game has a bunch of neon colors in it, because I had a hard time finding some of the posters and finding where I'm supposed to be putting some of the posters, because it was honestly so confusing and I got lost. Like I was doing this quest for around half an hour, like I kid you not, I was playing this game for half an hour trying to find the spaces where I'm supposed to put it, and honestly I really don't like how they did this. I think a better alternative of them being able to do this quest is if it has some sort of guiding arrow for you to do it. I know that's a little bit of a cheat, and I know that the developers probably wanted you to find it on your own, but with that little blue highlight for you to find the poster spot for you to put up the job listing poster, it was honestly like I did not like it at all. Maybe if you would have colored it like a bright neon red, since nothing is specifically bright neon red in the game. And I would have recorded this before, but a next point that I have is that the new bars that you have on your top left on your screen, the bars where it cares about your sleep and how much I still have no idea how you actually get food in Astro Renaissance. All I know is that when you go into Astro Renaissance, and I think you need to complete that supermarket quest you actually get access to go to the supermarket and like shop for stuff around the supermarket, which is honestly kind of dumb to me, because if a lot of the filler decorations in Astro Renaissance is vending machines, then wouldn't it make sense if all of the vending machines around Astro Renaissance could actually function and could actually fill up your hunger bar? Because I honestly didn't get why none of the vending machines actually worked. And one thing that I found funny was that in the supermarket there was actually a collection of vending machines that just didn't have any texture. I thought that was kind of funny. But anyways, back to the points that I would have written down here. One of the next points that I really want to be changed inside of the game is that it is very hard for you to move from one place to another place without a vehicle. Now, I have no idea if there are vehicles in Astro Renaissance, because even on one graphic, it is incredibly hard for me to run around in Astro Renaissance, because as I would have said multiple times before, my laptop is not the best. It's not a gaming laptop, and just running around from one place to another, especially to the scale of how big this game is, which I am getting to in a sec. Astro Renaissance is just too big of a game to only be walking around on foot. Like, for example, in Royal High, you can easily like fly, because in Royal High, the existence of fairies exists and the existence of mermaids exists. So it's easy for you to move around in that sense, because it is a princess game and it's a fairy game and a mermaid fairy tale game. But in this game, Astro Renaissance, I feel like it would be a good idea for something like a hover car, for example, like those futuristic hover cars that people imagine would eventually come into reality, or like a hover scooter, or like, what about the literal Subway Surfer surfboard? Like, that would be cool, because it's somewhat futuristic, and I think it would be so cool for Astro Renaissance to have something like that instead of having to constantly run around, because as of right now, I still have no idea how to traverse Astro Renaissance without having a huge lag spike happen every 2 seconds, because I just really don't know if there are any vehicles. If there are any vehicles in Astro Renaissance, please tell me down in the comments, because I seriously couldn't find any in my playthroughs. And one of the last things that I really wanted to talk about, well, two things that I really wanted to talk about that really bugs me, is just how much content Astro Renaissance has in general. Like, I feel like Astro Renaissance has so much content in it that it just doesn't necessarily need. Like, for example, when I was walking around the top layer of the map, I saw that there was a pool area, and it kind of made me confused as to why there was a pool area all of a sudden. Like, I have no idea if the pool area was there since the summer update when the Gyaru set would have came out. I really can't remember. I wasn't playing Astro Renaissance around that time. But in my opinion, it doesn't really make sense for there to be a pool in the game, because like, it's not summertime, and even though it is like a general pool for anybody to go in, like a public pool, I still don't get it, because through that pool, when you walk through that pool, there is actually an opening to a beach area. And for a beach to be in the nighttime, I know that this is supposed to be like an alien game, but like, it doesn't logically make sense for a beach to just be there in the nighttime. And you could argue, yeah, we are in space and stuff like that, but I think this is going to be a controversial opinion. I think that it would be really fun for specifically the beach portion of the map, like if it turned to daytime. Like, I think that would be cool, but as I would have said before, it's a controversial opinion because they are in space. It's Astro Renaissance after all. It's supposed to be in space, but I don't really think that a beach in space makes sense. But then again, a lot of things don't make sense in games, so I guess that's just their logic. I wouldn't know nonetheless. So I think that is basically all of the points that I wanted to cover. Again, this is not me slandering on the game. This is just me saying things that I am not satisfied with the game, and I hope that the devs take this as a stepping stone and kind of a to-do list of what they should do to improve on the game. And I hope that their development team is working on the game, because an update has not come out besides like new mini games being released to the game. And honestly, new mini games to the arcade and bringing out stuff like that is not going to keep the game alive. What is going to keep the game alive is consistent updates and consistent seasonal updates like what Royal High does, but Royal High is kind of behind on that. So that is basically all I have to say on today's topic. If you guys have anything to add, please put it down in the comments. And yeah, that is all I have to say on today's video. If you guys like the video, make sure to like and subscribe, and see you.